Now to the NBA. We're just 12 days away from the NBA restart in Orlando when the Utah Jazz face the New Orleans Pelicans, and just 5 days away from watching the Jazz on the court again.
Yeah, the Jazz, they'll get their feet wet again with a scrimmage against the Phoenix Suns on Thursday, July 23rd. One of 3 scrimmages before the games actually begin to count. Now, whatever happens in Orlando for the Jazz will largely depend on what happens with Donovan Mitchell on the basketball court. He's young, but he's the leader of this team. The Jazz need his pull-up jumpers, his explosive dunks, and his three-point shots. But Donovan tells us it's going to take a little more than that from him for this team to succeed.
Becoming a better passer. I think that's our more willing passer. I think getting into the lane, obviously, get there, and take certain shots, whatever. But I think being able to find my teammates, especially with Bojan being out, we're going to need guys to kind of pick it up and kind of pick up the slack that he had. So for us, like for me, obviously take the shots that I can get, but also being able to find my teammates, getting them easier looks, which will then also come back and make it easier on myself. But being able to do that, I think, will not just help me for where we are now, but help me for years upon my career.
Donovan Mitchell is only 23 years old, completing his 3rd NBA season, but it's clear the Utah Jazz look to Donovan as a team leader and need him to play like one in Orlando. A leadership role is something Donovan embraces as he tries to reach his potential as an NBA star.
I think the biggest thing for me is not allowing, the name I've created on the floor and off the floor to kind of affect the work that I've been doing, continuing to work on my game, get better as a teammate, better as a leader, better as a player, in so many different ways. I think that's really where it starts because, it's easy to kind of get what I've been able to be given at an early age and early in your career and kind of just, chill, and I think I try to do the exact opposite and just kind of just focus and focus on myself in the game and let everything else kind of flow the way it has been. I've been blessed to, they've been granted with an opportunity as a rookie, unfortunately I seized that opportunity and I've been kind of going with it ever since. But yeah, you're right. I've kind of honed in as trying to be the leader of this team and going out there and just leading these guys any way I can, whether it's meals, it's gaming, it's on the floor, pick and roll, defense, like whatever it may be, just kind of going out there and just trying to be the voice because, at the end of the day, yeah, I'm 3 years in, but I kind of see myself as a little bit more than that. And I think that's really where my head is at, not really thinking about, wow, I've been able to get all this. I appreciate it and I'm blessed, but, the team that we're playing doesn't really care about that. Honestly, it's about going out there and getting wins and being the best player and being the best teammate I can be.
We've heard several Jazz players and head coach Quin Snyder address what they need to do to overcome the absence of Bojan Bogdanovic. George Niang, he's one of those players that the team will need to lean on a bit more, but he hasn't been a full participant in practices since the team arrived at the bubble in Orlando. So why is that? Well, George answers that question for us.
Just rolled my ankle, so we were just taking precautionary steps. I mean, we don't play for another 14 days, I think it is, so just taking it slow, getting in there to get to full speed. Coach also said I was kicking too much, so had to take it easy.
George is always great. Plus, you know what? I want that Donovan Utah Stars hoodie.
Oh, no kidding.
How do I get one of those?
That's red hot.
Those are awesome. 50th anniversary next year, by the way, the Stars Championship. All right, the Orlando experience is going to be different for all 30 NBA teams, including the Jazz. There will be no such thing as a home court advantage.
Yeah, there were 2 things the Jazz have always been able to count on.
Yeah, when playing home games, they play teams at elevation, right? That's an advantage. And playing in front of some of the loudest fans in the NBA, if not the loudest. But neither will be an advantage on the neutral court in Orlando. Playing without fans will be an adjustment, but Donovan says it won't change the way the best players in the world will play the game of basketball.
You're really just going to see what guys talk about an open gym. And honestly, everybody's so worried about the trash talking. There's a lot of just jokes being made on the floor. And obviously, with come playoff time, that kind of goes out the window. But it's going to be weird at first. But at the end of the day, we've all played pickup in empty gyms. And I feel like that's what it's going to feel like as far as talking to each other. But there'll be some things that'll pick up and definitely allow for, you guys to kind of run with and have fun with because it's just the nature of the game. But I don't think it'll be any different at all.
The Jazz have announced their jersey schedule in Orlando. Pelicans Association jersey. Thunder Association. Lakers city jersey. Grizzlies Purple Mountain. Spurs Purple Mountain. Nuggets City Edition. Mavericks Association. and Spurs icon. Notice one color of jersey is missing as we show you these. Yes, it's the yellow jerseys. The only way to end the yellow jersey curse is to never, ever play in those jerseys again.
Maybe a postseason bonfire with them, right? I don't know if I've ever been more excited for an exhibition game than I am for the 3 that are coming up. The Jazz announced that those 3 scrimmages in Orlando will be broadcast on TV, on AT&T Sportsnet, and on the radio on the Zone Sports Network. The Jazz take on the Suns Thursday, July 23rd, the Heat on the 25th, and the Nets on the 27th before the restart opener July 30th against the Pelicans.